They were literally giving the keys away.
Oh no, pearls are like dropped.
How to, and like, I'm gonna be honest with you though, Elliott, it wasn't just pearls, it was the roadmap.
Yeah.
She literally laid out, you have the song written, you have it mixed, here are the avenues you need to go in order to get the song on, or have it registered so that you can get it on television shows.
No.
Another songwriter saying, I did that, and then I did this and this thing, and that led to the placement on this show. That check from that show paid for this mixer. That conversation and that work interaction led to a series of other songs that now I don't have to work for the rest of the year because you know what I mean. Like they were literally giving the, and I mean they were like, I get write it down.
Because when do you?
It was, I mean,
because it's been stressed as. You won't be hearing this stuff.
It was unreal.
It's What
up, fellas?
Hi.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
Happy New Year. So I want to challenge you, okay? So just let's say I don't know nothing about VocalizeU. I don't know nothing about VocalizeU. Give me the top reasons why you think anyone who's interested in music should be a part of this camp.
Oh my God! I mean, there's so many. There's the educational aspect amongst the best people in the industry.
Okay.
I think it's shared space with other artists. Being an artist is a very isolating experience, right?
Okay.
So to me, it's not just the mentors. Like you may find a writing partner or production partner for life.
Yep.
So yeah.
Another one?
Yeah. You got it's going tit for tat. We're going beat for beat. Okay.
The mentors are incredible, and they give you knowledge that you would never get anywhere else. In the matter of in 10 days. I mean, from 50 different mentors throughout 10 days. That's insane.
Insane. Elliott?
I mean, just our core teachers breaking down whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking. You get a chance to actually meet with somebody and have them work with you specifically on the things that you need help with. This isn't a generalization. This isn't sitting with a lecture. This isn't a masterclass where you don't get to ask questions and interact. You're spending hours with this person throughout the week. Someone that does this.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You get to perform original music in front of label executives.
With an amazing band.
That will critique your performance and tell you ways you could be better or
wait,
things
there's
you could fix.
feedback?
Yeah, they give you feedback.
Oh, yeah.
There's feedback?
Yeah.
For the performance?
Yes.
If I wasn't sold, I'm sold now.
They give you feedback.
Imagine you're performing for record label executives who have an objective stance on who you are as an artist, and they're saying, here's how you could win, here's where you could pick up some development, here's what I loved.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is for sure. And it's executives. It's
You
again,
can't
it's
get that
people.
on American Idol.
No, because they're yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never seen a camp like this. Really and truly, I've never seen a camp like this. And I said it to you then, like I've never seen people so ready to offer themselves as resources to young people in the way that I saw for this camp, right?
Yeah.
Like literally giving out their personal cell phone numbers to these young artists, these young creators, as a means to say, I am invested in you already. I want to see you succeed. So please use me in that way.
And
it's unreal.
You hope that they do, right? Because if you're offering that up, you're being sincere, right?
Before we get off on another situation, I just want you to walk me through. So VocalizeU was a camp. How many years before you guys got involved?
It was strictly a vocal camp that Dave started.
I would say probably
24 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the longest running music camp in general in LA, right? So it started off because he's a vocal coach.
Right.
Had a bunch of other vocal coaches come in. It was strictly, vocal.
About creating better singers.
Yes.
More technically
sound
singers.
Right. Yeah. And then it became as things started to evolve, once we both got involved, it was like, maybe we should offer a songwriting class. Maybe we should offer a music business class. Yeah. Maybe we should offer performance class. Like, you know, it's starting to try to include the whole piece, the whole pie.
Right.
And as the music industry changed and shifted, which is always evolving, I mean, I think that it was important that, you know, Dave had the perspective of Elliott and myself to kind of say, hey, we should shift here and add this or add this. And I think that after us being involved for, you know, 11 or 12 years, that's when he kind of said, hey guys, you know, maybe you guys should come on board as partners because you got, all the ideas that you guys have
are valid.
And it's making the camp into something else, but it's amazing and I love where it's going. And so
But I need to get out of the way. That was something I've always really appreciated. He had the foresight and the wherewithal to understand that this thing that he built is turning into something really special that he didn't have the intention for it to necessarily be like this. But going, I'm seeing what's happening. I need to shift
My
out.
job here.
Right.
Mission complete.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. Because again, this thing was built, the bones of it were there. So now it's our job to bring in these people that we feel fit what we're trying to accomplish and keep it evolving every year. We're not attached to one single class just because we've had it before.
Right.
If it doesn't work, we're changing it. Right? So we're not afraid to for it to not hit. We're afraid to not try to evolve and try to adapt to what's happening now.
Right.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about, before we get to the expansion, talk to me about where the camp is now. Like, what is the feedback? What's the feeling people are getting when they leave the camp right now?
We checked in with people like November, right?
Yes.
We had calls with every attendee in November. So you don't want to do it. We felt like it's not productive to do it right after.
Right.
Everyone's still riding the high,
and
everyone's still on cloud nine, everything is possible. You want everything to be processed when you're at home, when you're not in the bubble. So we talked to everyone in November. All shared sort of a common thread and theme.
Which was?
I would say two is this is tough. This is difficult.
Music business is tough.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because there's so many moving pieces to it. They go, well, I need a manager, I need an agent, I need a label, I need whatever because I'm trying to do all this by myself.
Right.
And a lot of people are Australia, Mexico City, London, Ireland, all over the place, and they feel immediately. Also, there was a lot of them that immediately want to come here. Right, going. I got to move to New York.
I got to move to LA. I got to get to the States. I got to get to where the action is happening.
Actually, just build. You got to build it. You're not doing anything yet. It's actually more difficult here, right? To make any noise.
Yeah.
Okay, I am curious to know. You know, you two have been working in this business for some time. You have seen so many iterations of this business and what is popular, what is sellable, what is big ticket, what is middle ticket, what's up and coming. Who are some of those artists that you've seen, that you've worked with in the past? I'm curious.
Oh man, so many.
Billy's got plenty.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I think,
and I don't mean this as a braggadocious way.
Of course, no.
But I mean, I'm not. This is not clout chasing. But I mean, I'm curious to know, you've seen this industry through the lens of major, middle, and emerging artists.
Yeah, I mean, I think fortunately for me, you know, I was at Def Jam before it was Island Def Jam when Russell, you know, was running it before he sold his share. So I mean, Montel Jordan and DMX and Jay-Z and Ja Rule and Method Man and Redman, and we had Keith Murray, we had LL Cool J, obviously. There was so many artists. I mean, and I remember being in LA, and you know, whenever we had awards shows, we'd have these really amazing parties at the House of Blues, and it was like Slick Rick, and it was Run DMC, and it was like those, having to set up and you know, put together all of those events. I was the happiest person in the world. I was learning the industry and figuring out what I wanted to do and what I liked and didn't like, and I didn't sleep then either. You know.
Right.
I mean, I think fortunately for me, coming from the record label side and being an executive at Def Jam and Sony and Atlantic, I always seem to get involved early with artists. Like I've always been able to find talent really early, because I do a lot of these showcases all over the country where I kind of, you know, scout talent and speak to kids and families, and but finding JoJo, and she was like 9 in Orlando, and the Tori Kellys, and I mean, there's so many artists that I look at now and I go, I'm blessed to have these amazing friendships with them because of the history that I've you know, and seen them kind of go from here and you know, just do their thing. So it's you know, it's been great. And there's so many other ones, but
to grow and change in this industry.
I mean, and to see them have the power to in themselves say, hey, this is not right for me. I'm going to shift, or I'm going to pivot, or I'm going to, you know, and have success. It's really awesome to see that. Yep.
Okay, so what's the common thread that you notice in young artists?
I think that all of them are obviously amazingly talented, but they all were, you know, they all come from a very, you know, grounded family. From the Tori Kellys to the Kikis to the Christine Leons to the JoJo's to all these, you know, it's like they were always, because I mean I've seen so many artists that are so talented, but they're their own worst enemy, where, you know, they have their own issues or demons, and that will always sideline their career. And I think that all the artists that I've been fortunate enough to work with, they've all, you know, had amazing family and an amazing, like, someone to kind of keep them in check when they get out of line.
Right.
Because it will happen.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. I mean, there's so much temptation in this industry where, you know, artists get a little bit of success, and then they always have that moment where it's like, I'm out and I'm doing drugs and I'm doing it. You know, when you're successful, you're around a lot of different
Access to everything.
crowds.
Changes.
So,
Elliot, how about you? What's?
Why do you have me follow Billy?
Sorry.
There's not many people that can follow Billy.
I really did kind of jack you up, but
That was a real listen. Okay, but everything that he just mentioned is exactly why when he came to camp the first time.
Why would you do me like that?
The whole time as he goes, I go, God damn, like.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so mine's real short. Okay, no. So I got brought in to help out 10-Min Records, which was Justin Timberlake's label.
Okay.
And that was through Interscope, right? Yeah. So 10-Min was a label that Justin started. Timberlake. He had few artists that he'd signed. He was also brought in this kid, brought him to LA because they heard about him online. His name was Justin Bieber. He was like, I don't know, 13 maybe at the time, I want to say. He got brought in, and I remember sitting in the room with Dave Stroud, who was like going to put him through the paces, see if he was, you know, as advertised.
Right.
And I was blown away. I'd never seen anything. Truly, I'd never seen anything like this kid. And he was like, there was girls in the studio that were my age that were like captivated with it. And I remember me being like, what?
Right.
What is this? What is going on here?
It was the swoop, man.
No, dude, it was he had everything. This was
remember?
not a manufactured.
100%.
He was unreal when he came in, where I was like, he's gonna be huge. And I remember being like, oh, this is 10-Min didn't sign him.
It went another way.
They went another way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he went with LA, right? And Usher over at Island.
And Usher.
Yeah. And Usher over at Island Def Jam.
Watch this.
And but that was like, okay, so that was very early on. That was when I was still just helping out and volunteered to book shows, seeing that. But then the 10-Min Records as a whole was my first insight into everything, because I came in as the label model was already starting to change. My introduction was, right? So this was already when artists were running their own imprints and things like that.
Right.
So I was able to kind of see how that was run. And I had no prior experience, so everything was like, okay, well, I guess this is how it goes.
Instead of like, well, no, the old school way of doing things, or the usual way we do this.
They were trying to adapt. They were trying to figure it out. So watching these people that supposedly had all the answers search for the answers
was a good position to be in.
No, it was really cool to be able to see. I'm so lucky. And then it was like, I just had that experience to then turned into my younger brother wanting to be an artist. I was like, well, I know how to book a show now.
Right.
And then we ran with it. And then it's been my choice to, I manage him solely because I know what that feels like. And as you know, it's like being a manager is like, that's a hefty label to put on. I wouldn't just want to work with anybody. And even if just based off their talent, it's got to be all more than that, right?
It's cool to know that like people who have no idea what to expect from this camp know that it's not like 30 people that they're going to be interacting with. It's like people from all over the world who love music and want to be involved, how many mentors, teachers, industry professionals do they have access to at a camp at any given time?
So we have like a dozen mainstay full-time teachers, right?
Okay.
Each teacher, though, throughout the week, sometimes brings in, I wouldn't even say a mentor, I'd say a guest teacher to their class, depending on what their curriculum is throughout the week, right? So you get the opportunity to meet all those people as well. But then we have like 5 mentors a night. So you're talking 40, 50 people throughout the entire camp. And these are, again, reading the resumes are insane.
Well, I want to say over the years that we've been doing VocalizeU, just Elliott and I being involved, every record label's come. Sony, Atlantic,
every major has been
Warner,
represented.
Yeah, I mean we've had, and we've had producers like Ron Feemster and Roddy Jerkins, and we've had Tina Davis, and we've had Max Goose, and we've had these really amazing executives that are doing huge things, but.
And then people from the DSPs too, people from SoundCloud, from
SoundCloud
Spotify, Apple, all these different, again, it covers everything. So you have artists themselves,
Right.
These famed choreographers and everything like that have worked with everybody.
Right.
I remember we had, a few years ago, we had Priscilla Renee, who's an amazing, incredible songwriter, who's written, songs for everybody. You can remember Rihanna and everybody. And now is finally getting her due because she's money long. And
she's an artist now. She's taken that on.
She's killing it, and I'm so happy for her. But having her come to camp and explain her process in writing, California King, but exactly, writing these songs, and these kids are going crazy. Like, you wrote that Rihanna song, and then she's like, anybody got a guitar?
Yeah.
She's got her guitar and she starts performing. I'm like, oh man, like,
you get moments like that, which is what happens again when you are around these people that have made this their life because they love it. These really organic moments that come about from just happenstance when they're all together.
You couldn't even plan for.
No.
That you couldn't, that you just gotta be in the room.
And also because the industry is so small, you get people, these mentors that come up that didn't know so-and-so was going to be there that night either, and they haven't seen each other in years, and you get this really cool moment amongst them, and then stories. That's my favorite part, is you truly get to hear this like behind the music shit. Yeah. That there's no way you should be sitting in the room hearing that from these people.
And being able to pull some sort of lesson in how you can be better prepared for the circumstances scenario that might come up in your own career.
We had JoJo come and do a master class basically and talk about her journey, and that was so powerful because there's so many kids that love JoJo, but just hearing her pitfalls and her hurdles that she's dealt with in her career, and like
that's what it is. They're failures too. I mean, they're open and candid about it.
Absolutely.
Well, I remember I walked into that theater and there was a conversation with a tour manager and a songwriter who had moved into like the manager position of other songwriters and artists, right? And they were literally giving the keys away.
Oh no, pearls are like dropped.
How to and like I'm gonna be honest with you though, Elliott, it wasn't just pearls, it was the roadmap.
Yeah.
She literally laid out. Yeah. You have the song written, you have it mixed. Here are the avenues you need to go in order to get the song on or have it registered so that you can get it on television shows. No. Another songwriter saying, I did that, and then I did this and this thing, and that led to the placement on this show. That check from that show paid for this mixer. That conversation and that work interaction led to a series of other songs that now I don't have to work for the rest of the year because you know what I mean. Like they were literally giving the and I mean they were like I get right in there.
Because when do you?
It was I mean
because it's been stressed as. You won't be hearing this stuff anywhere.
Yeah. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed about this camp in particular was that not only do these young artists, really artists of every age, have an opportunity to learn from these incredible mentors, but they also get to showcase what they do and how they're growing. So there was this live performance that happened. Sure. Okay, has that always been a part of the camp?
Yeah.
It has always been a part of the camp. So at what point was it decided that they would have like original songs played by an actual band every night, because that was unreal to me.
Yeah.
Like you have a band, you have a house band.
Oh yeah, and these musicians,
and they're incredible,
are touring. Again, that's another thing that I feel like we don't even drive home the way we should.
Well, let's get to it.
These students get to perform with these are top musicians. They're touring around the world, stadium tours with huge artists, but get to come here again because it's about pulling people that believe that we have to share something here.
Right.
But that's an incredible privilege, right? To be able to take a song that you wrote in your room on a little keyboard and now have transcribed and arranged by these amazing musicians that have put in their 10,000 hours.
Right.
That are legitimate and stamped. You get to perform and showcase what it is that you do in a room full of people that are they're so supportive. You're not going to be in a more supportive room, right?
No.
Because they know what it feels like. And they hope that you're going to be as supportive when they go out, right? So, yeah.
I mean, think about it. You're performing potentially your own music with a world-renowned backing band ready for you to win.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't...
Background vocals. I mean, it's the whole thing. This is
background vocals and everything.
You get your moment and you watch people. That's the coolest thing.
Immediately, I'm also sensing a shift in the camp in that it is not a one-off experience. Like, oh, I had this great experience for 10 days in Los Angeles. I met some really cool people. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm so glad I had that experience.
Yeah.
So long.
It
seems like there's a shift.
No, we have so many kids that come back every year. I mean, we have kids that come back 2, 3, 4 years sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they get something different out of it every time they come.
Right.
Which is amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, because it's ever evolving,
and hard
right?
to do.
Sure.
Because it's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are camps that are much more expensive for this period of time, and for when you think about the things that you're able to glean from this process.
Absolutely.
There are more expensive camps, but it's still not a cheap camp.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so to know that
sure.
you have return campers, and you have return,
that
students.
speaks volumes. You know what I mean? That means a lot, because also, I think for a long time it was built on wanting you to test out all different things, right?
Right.
Take background vocals, try it out. Take guitar class, take all these different things. Now we felt like what maybe be more productive would be solely spending the time on the things that you need help with.
Right.
Okay? Because everyone goes,
Everyone's different.
whatever their needs are different.
But that's also interesting, right? To focus on, and it takes I think a presence of mind, or maybe even a cue, to say, I'm gonna go to this camp and do what I love to do, right? So if you love songwriting, you want to do more songwriting, but it's like, okay, but also I need you to not only do well in songwriting, I also need you to do well at arrangement and instrumentation. I need you to do well in marketing.
Your branding, things like that,
You know what I
right?
mean? Things
Because
like
you
that.
don't want to leave there. Really, this is about growth, so it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you're going to stay in your safe space, like you said, you love songwriting, so you're only taking songwriting classes. It's so much fun. We want it to be fun. The experience is fun.
And you should have that.
You should. But
as well as
we don't want you to step away and go, oh, I didn't really learn anything. I was just able to use that muscle throughout the 10 days.
Yeah. I really believe that sharing that intention is key in this whole thing. I think that it is a really beautiful way to encourage someone who might be thinking that this camp isn't for them because, oh, I'm not a singer, or I'm not pretty enough, or I can't dance, or I haven't worked out, any of whatever that might be. That if music is what you love, this business is what you are interested in, that there are ways for you to be a part of it that you maybe haven't even considered yet.
But it goes back to, it's a really simple question and a simple answer. Do you want to, is this where you feel like you want to be? Is this something you really want to try to do? If so, that's all that we need to hear.
Right.
Then run with us. Jump in, though.
And that's the hard part about it as well. It's like, I mean, you came and you experienced it, but at the end of the day, it's like people don't know what to expect. But it's something that I can describe in words. But on campus, it's the most loving, supportive environment ever. I mean, when you came to the auditorium, it's like these kids perform, and all their peers that are there are just cheering and like it's so. And it's so supportive, and
Yeah.
these kids literally get off stage and they're crying. They're like, you know, I didn't expect all my friends that I just met yesterday to be so supportive, and you know, so
It was unreal.
it's it
was
really
unreal.
it's really magical.
I'm gonna ask you both this question.
Okay.
What is your goal for a student, an attendee from this camp to walk away with? Like, what's the one thing or the core thing or the series of things you want people to walk away from this experience with?
I think for me, I just want, you know, because for me, traveling all over the world and dealing with aspiring artists or singers, they never understand how the business works. And so they always come to me with these unrealistic, like, you know, I want to be famous, or I want to have a record deal, or I want to do this, and I'm like, that's great, but you're not even, you want to go here, and you're not even thinking about what's down here yet. So understand what the business is, what the pitfalls are going to be, you know, all the things that you need to learn before you can, you know, progressively get to where you want to go. And I think that's, for me, that's probably the biggest thing. You know, I think that I would love ultimately to have the students that come to camp break wide open and be successful, so I could say, you know, we were able to provide the tools to help them become successful, you know?
Right. But that there is no overnight success.
Yeah. And
That is a myth.
That is the truth.
absolutely, yeah.
Right. Even the artists that break seemingly overnight,
Yeah.
there have been years of
Oh, yeah.
there's been
multiple
years of-
deals.
Best new artist. Yeah, my first album was 18 years ago, but I just won. I just won best new artist.
Yeah.
Great, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Love you.
yeah, I love you.
Elliott, how about you? What would you say is your intent, the thing you want people to walk away from this camp?
Kind of, I mean, it is very similar in the way, I guess that's why, you know, this is my partner in this, like an honest understanding. That's all we have control over, is what we are sharing in the way we are sharing it, and why I feel like what we do is different.
Yeah.
Honest understanding. Okay, this isn't, we believe what we're telling you, because all we're saying is our experiences, and bringing up people that have experienced everything and that are candid enough to tell you their failures,
Right.
their successes, all of that stuff, right? This isn't just the good stuff. We're not doing you any good by dispelling you on this myth, like you said, the overnight success. No one's swooping in on the white horse and changing your life. And the quicker you realize that, at least you can know if this is for you or not.
True.
Because that's also what, I don't even mind, obviously in an ideal world, these people go on amazing music careers,
Of course.
and we feel like we're a part of that. Also, I at least want you to not get to this next level and go, nobody told me.
No. Yeah, I was unprepared.
I was unprepared, because that's what we have control over, is the messaging.
Okay, so I want to know now about the growth of VocalizeU. Like, where do you see this program, this camp going in the next couple of years? Like, what are the plans to grow this thing, to deepen the reach?
Yeah.
We're starting to select cities to do sort of smaller breakouts of what it is that we do in LA. Not a 10-day, no, 3-4 day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And have it be several different places around the world. We do Mexico City, we've been talking about. Australia, we're talking to a studio there. London, talking to there.
Yeah.
Nashville, maybe. Like, again,
Yeah.
we can have several of these throughout the year in different parts of the world, and have it be, you can't dive in too much in depth in comparison to the 10-day event, right?
Right.
LA is always going to be what that's going to be.
Yeah.
However, there's still stuff to offer, and go there and have it be a little bit less of a jump for some people, where they just want to go, and again, we just want to be able to speak, provide some insight into things, give you some knowledge about that.
Yeah.
And then again, it goes into what we were speaking about pre-production and preparedness. So give you the homework of what it is, so when you step on in LA, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You already decided. You're committed.
Yeah, it's great because we have mentors that come to summer camp that are already, you know, ready to go to some of these other smaller ones that we're doing. So we'll take a handful of those mentors with us, you know, whether they're record label executives or producers or managers or Grammy award-winning writers, whatever. But they're all invested into
Bring some mentors, bring 2 or 3 teachers, go and have a 4-day event.
It'd be amazing.
And it's sort of an appetizer to the main event.
So we're looking for the sponsors to help facilitate those things, because we have so many sponsors that are lined up for this coming year in summer. So some of them are already going to be involved for these breakouts. But hey, this is such a great opportunity. I want to extend that to whoever understands our vision and is willing to be involved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so LA remains the kind of hero.
Oh, yeah.
The main dish.
Well, that's
but there
it,
are
again.
These well-rounded supporting dishes.
Yeah.
For sure,
That
because we
points to that
have it
experience.
built here. Now, again, though, we feel like we can offer this to somebody that coming to LA is an ask. It's a
Yeah.
financial ask. It's a ask amongst yourself, your family, whatever. Okay, well, let's provide something a little bit closer to you. Can you come see this? We believe
Yeah.
that all you need to do, give us a chance to be able to explain what it is that we do and what we offer.
Right.
And you'll be ready to book the flight to LA.
Yeah, it's little side dishes.
Yeah.
So how do people get in touch? If they want to sign up for the camp, they want to see what else you guys are offering,
Yeah.
where you're offering it, how do they get in touch?
Look us up on social media, VocalizeU, okay? Just so you could see some of the things, again, to experience what it looks like. We're sharing some clips from last year's camp. You could reach out to us
Highlights.
on there. There's an email address. It's open now. People are already signing up. So we are telling people, if you are thinking about securing your spot, reach out to us, do it now, because once like we can't open it up anymore once those spots are filled.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just because of the campus. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love it. You're the bomb.
It's exciting.
Thank you so
you.
much. This is so exciting.
Thank you so much.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.